Well, good morning, sunshine. Mm. So much to say. Oh my God. So, okay, yeah. What are we supposed to do here? We're supposed to be um, good morning, um, like, share, and subscribe. Because all of you got to notice, and yeah. you ever just kind of get tired of hearing that from some of these channels? Every time you go there, that's first thing. They've all got this like script they all have to follow now because somebody says that's the right way to do things. You know, the right way to do things. Um, if it wasn't for people screwing things up, I mean, how many times did the Edison company screw up the light bulb before they finally got it right? You know what I mean? Who's to say what? Because a viral video gets views, so that's the one that's right, and nothing else matters. I've had those viral videos. I can't duplicate it. I've tried. Well, we really like it when you really get into and motivated and really go after what you're doing and heartfelt. Um, well, yeah, that's all great words, but you know, what's your motivation for being? Like I had a phone interview yesterday. Um, Bad mindset yesterday, so things were kind of weird, and of course, all sorts of drama started over it. Oh my God, the normal, whatever. But yeah, I had this job phone interview yesterday for Organic Lawn Care Company. Should be interesting. Should be fun. So much misinformation out there. This should be an interesting adventure. Just the initial interview should be interesting. Um, Let me see. What else can we talk about? I cut my grass for the 14th time yesterday. So it'd be 5:21. Yeah. Lady's like, well, how long do you cut your grass? 3 inches. Well, what about cutting it shorter so you don't have to cut it as much? I don't need a root base. I already have one. It's very well established. Why would I keep cutting it short? Huh? Yeah, when you cut your grass short, you cause it to root more. Huh? She didn't understand the concept. There's a whole regiment that goes with that. When you cut your grass short, your grass goes into scramble mode or into protection mode, and it goes deeper into your soil, provided it's not going up against clay. So there's this whole science behind all of that. So when somebody comes up to you and says, "Hey, you know, time to cut short because we're getting ready to go into this cycle," there may be a reason. Don't just dismiss it. There may be a reason. Um, that's also a great time to bag and thatch. If you're cutting short, you're driving your root base deeper. Good time to get the thatch up. Um, and it's about that time of year. Reason I say that, as the seeds are falling, as your dandelion seeds are starting to move, um, a lot of your a lot of your hardwood seeds are starting to fall. Um, this is the time to thatch because you're going to help relieve your yard of those seeds. Um, yeah, it's work. Yeah, I get it. I still have not seen a machine yet that can thatch a yard without it being a lot of labor of one form or another. I know there's this new fad going around. There's a chemical. that they're using. Again, here we go. That it supposedly, quote unquote, accelerates the decomposition of your thatch layer. Now, what's that do to the food web? Any chemical on the food web is going to stop the food web and make it work harder and cause global warming because it's going to off gas funny. Don't do that. You're better off not removing the thatch. It will break down by itself. It will. The worms will come up, they'll eat it, they'll take it back into the soil. There's all sorts of great processes there that will happen. You don't have to thatch. I like the idea of removing all the pollutions before I wash the yard. But since I just treated it this week, I'm not sure I'm going to do that. It may be, I got to wait for the rain. I got to see what the rain does. Because as you apply this system, and you start your run for the season, you want to make sure you're not washing that stuff away. You want to make sure you're not activating your weed seed killer before it has a chance to get down into the soil and follow the worms and what have you. There's a whole mental process here. No reason to burden yourself with it. Just accept that. Yeah, give it a couple of rainstorms. Once you treat your yard, let it rain a couple of times before you go in there and start doing anything. Pulling thatch and doing what have you. If you're going to do that at all. If you're going to do that. Remember, you can always call the worms in. You can always accelerate your food web with the sugars and the hint of ammonia. And the ammonia calls the worms, nothing else, just the ammonia. But as the sugars are abundant, so is your food web. Because that's what they get from the grass. So it takes a little bit of the burden off the grass. The food web expands, and then when it comes back to the grass is more accepting because it actually gets a chance to take a break. You might almost say that the best time to do that, if you really thought it through, the best time to do that would be right before the real heat of summer, 80s and 90s hit, and relieve the stress from your grass. You might say that. But since I'm on my 14th cut, who was it? Iron Dog, I think, came up yesterday and said he had only cut 3 times this year. I've already cut 14. Because with your different season grasses and your different types of grasses as you have throughout your yard, which is normal, they grow at different rates. And when you start seeing things like I'm starting to see it now, a lot of my short grasses are going to seed. I want them to, but I don't want them to. I'm not concerned. My seed killer is down, so I'm not concerned that the seed's going to get out of control. I don't like the energy being wasted creating seeds and slowing down the grass. See, there's all these mindsets. There's all this stuff that goes on. This is a complicated thing if you really, really go after it. There's no point. There really isn't. You follow a cutting schedule. You figure one out that works for you, for your area, for your region, and you cut your grass. Decide what length you want, what looks best, what performs the best for you. Obviously, big parties. Yeah, you kind of want your grass longer. It doesn't allow damage to the food web. So yeah, let your grass be longer. Also saw another interesting result. The I mentioned to you guys earlier that the lady whose house we keep an eye on had chemically treated her yard, which really has Rusty upset. And I understand. But she chemically treated and burned a couple of places in her yard because she spilled a little bit. But when I went over and cut the grass, the bugs, oh my God, the bugs. Oh, I absolutely out of control. Yet the all natural field that the city owns, when I cut that, nothing, nothing, because everything's working nature's way. So keep that in mind in your yards. That's kind of an important aspect of it. Um, Everything's got to kind of ebb and flow and do its own thing. You know what I mean? Um, you know, some of that drama from yesterday. Wow. Wow, did it cause some issues? Phew. Look, I got a life's plan. Um, I got a lot of numbers in my head. This is the point at which, okay, just like when I opened today, um, I gotta say, buy the book. The link's below. Um, Order a book from me, $25. Use my PayPal account, the Green Wizard at hotmail.com, no spaces. Um, and tell me how to fill it out. I've still got some books here before the other company gets a hold of me and wants books. So if you want a signed copy, number 16 has to go out yet. Um, that's another thing I'd like to ask you guys to do. Facebook, Wilson Feed Mill. Let them know what state you're in and that you heard of them because of the Green Wizard's Guide. That's Wilson Feed Mill. Um, they're located in Valley View, Independence, on Canal Road. It's just weird. It's just weird. Um, there's no way for me to point. I don't know how to do the Facebook link thing here to point you guys directly at it so you can go on Facebook and hit them. But just look it up, Wilson Feed Mill. Um, Send them a message. Let them know they're becoming that popular. Let them know because they're potentially going to host my book and put it on their shelves. Potentially. Um, I had a couple of communications with them again yesterday. They haven't had a chance to read the book yet. They don't realize. And I'll go into another thing. This is a different book, guys. Yeah, we all keep calling it a book. So it's got, a cover, a front, a back, a middle. There's no chapters here. This is just a story. It's like reading a short story, but it's long. I know, right? Um, a gentleman that I've been talking to was worried about the book. He's dyslexic, and he, had real trouble in high school uh, because of textbooks, and they're so boring. And he would start seeing words out of order, and what have you. And it's the mind. Again, bad food. That's all I'll say. It's bad food. If it wasn't for the bad food, we wouldn't have some of these disorders. And it's just weirdness. Hey, what's going on, buddy? I was just getting ready to talk about you, but let me finish where I'm going. So he picked up the book. He finally got it in Texas, um, and he opened it up the following day and is ranting and raving. He reached page 30 and loves the book. Hasn't missed a step. Cannot believe what he's learned already in just 30 pages. Um, yeah, I think we're going to end up with a great book review. Great book review. Now, a lot of you guys have come at me and said, we need to see your results. Look, I'll show you results when I get to the farm because I want to start with a clean slate. It's not fair for me to show you 5, 6, 8 years, 9 years of organic lawn care and get you to understand what's going on here. It's not. You know, and I didn't want to lean on anybody, but Jerry's Wood Shop and Outdoors, who's coming to the channel. Sorry, he's been the guinea pig. He volunteered without even knowing it. He stepped into this without understanding. I'll put the contest that's over. Please understand the contest is done. The awards have gone out, I think. I've still not seen my toy, but whatever. It's all good. I'm sure it'll go to a better place. Somebody who can be trusted with fire, which is all good. I'm going to put the contest link on this and leave this one up, maybe. We'll see how long I run. And in the contest, when he announces the contest, he walks around his yard. And you can see how thin the grass is. You can see the excessive puddles and amount of puddles throughout his yard. And that was standing water. That wasn't fresh after rain. That had been standing there a bit. He just did a recap. We're now 3 weeks, 4 weeks after the yard being treated, and shows the yard. And we all know, we've all across the country have been fighting a lot of rain. It won't stop. It's just pouring on. Whatever they're doing, we're losing a lot of farms because of this, because they're flooding out, losing all their crops. The insurance won't cover it. So we're going to lose a lot of farms this year because people don't understand the importance of the food web. They're doing it the government way, and the yards aren't absorbing the water. Jerry's the perfect example. Here's a yard now beginning. It's the beginning stages, and it's going to get better. As time goes, it's going to get better. Where his yard is now absorbing the water, no more chances of flooding. Because the yard's doing what it's supposed to do. Just like a farm is supposed to absorb every drop of water that falls, so is your yard. But when the food web's not working, things don't happen. Well, Jerry put out a video this past weekend on his cell phone. Great video, by the way, buddy. Yard's looking really good. Couple of things I would do, but that's just me. Just follow what the book said. Get your results. Jerry's yard's looking incredible, and he talks you through it. He tells you about what was going on in the front yard. There's a little snake or something, a couple inches long or something in his backyard. He's afraid to go in the backyard and cut the grass because it might hiss at him or bite him or something. No, they got some dangerous snakes over there. That's North Carolina. They got some bad venomous ones. So he's probably right to avoid it. But yeah, he's got some issues. He's got some growth issues. His grass, his weeds, everything's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Yards taken off. There's your results. You guys that are fighting clay and fighting issues, what have you, take a look at these 2 videos. I'll put the links in. I don't have them handy, or I'd post them right here in chat. Yeah, this is an immediate fix, guys. When you start looking at your yard and you look at what's not happening, this is an immediate fix. Once you wash your yard and then start the treatment, or if you're lucky enough to have never chemicalized your yard and have enough property that you're not dealing with a whole lot of the pollutions, and you can go directly in, this is an immediate result thing. This starts very, very quickly. And expands exponentially. So expect improvement, Jerry, and anyone going into this system. Expect to see improvements. And nature takes time. We're just accelerating nature. If you pick up every piece of what's suggested and you follow through, and it's not that you need to follow precise measurements. Nature doesn't work that way. You know, brother, I'm sorry your yard's looking better. I'm sorry that the flooding issues are retreating. I'm sorry that you may be able to salvage those trees and them not fall on your house. I'm sorry, things happen. You bought the book. What do you want me to tell you? You were looking for some solutions, and the solutions are in the book. Um, this will turn things around, guys. This really will. And I know I've heard from a lot of you. Oh my God, I don't want to cut my grass like you do. You've cut 14 times this year already, and there is no way I want to be cutting my grass that much. Oh my God, look, I'm very methodical about the appearance of my lawn at 3 inches. Understand something. I've got 8, 9 years, I don't even know at this point, of organic growth into my soil and topsoil redundancy. This was the point in the wand test in the book to see how soft your soil was, to see how deep everything was going. This is the point of that test. If I were to go do mine, it goes all the way to the handle and I have trouble getting it back out. When you get the organic system working, you really do want to be cutting shorter. So even though you may be used to a 3-inch cut, as you start this system, drive your roots deeper. Go ahead and cut your grass short this year, the whole year. Don't vary it. Cut it short. Make those roots work for a living. Make them start helping you break up the clay bed, expand exponentially, and get those areas filled in where you've been struggling. So go ahead and cut your grass short this year. All you're going to do is increase your ability to store water and expand everything. So go ahead and cut short. Stay there all year. Next year, worry about where your variables are. Next year, worry about your thatch layers. Next year, worry about these other processes. Go ahead and cut short. I know, like in some of your golf courses, they cut it at an inch. But these guys are cutting like every other day. Don't do that. It's give nature a week, once a week. That's it. Once a week, but cut short. I know what they say. They tell you, regardless of what you've got going on, and I'll read that in a second, Jerry, what they've got going on, you should only cut 1/3 of your overall grass blade height for its growth. Granted, understood. Every type of grass we have grows at different rates. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The only thing you're going to do is slow down your accelerated grass and get it to back off. That's all you're going to end up doing. You might actually hurt it and allow the shorter grass, the slower grass, to move in. So there's pluses to this. So go ahead. Don't worry about it. Cut it short. Oh, right. And see, that's the thing, Jerry. When you said that, and I was listening really, really close and I'll get to you in a second, Frozen, because glasses. I'm old and blind. Um, you're going to start noticing. You're saying it's getting softer. See, people have this misunderstanding. They're thinking that because of the excessive amount of grass, the grass is soft. They're not understanding it's the actual soil beginning to become organically rich topsoil. And as you walk on topsoil, you leave your footprints behind. That'll all return itself. They're not understanding. When you say it's getting soft, it's going to expand exponentially. The whole yard is going to become that way. Remember back in high school, when we played football and what have you, walking into that football field was like walking on a blanket. Nowadays, you walk into a football field, man, it's like walking on rocks. It's solid cement. How they even get the grass to grow is beyond me at this point. All them chemicals they're dumping out there. Man, them football fields are terrible nowadays. So yeah, the soil's going to get softer. It's going to be like walking on a pillow. And eventually you'll get to the point where I am, Jerry, where I don't like walking in my grass unless I'm barefoot. And then I start aerating to try and help level everything off and get things to. I have a leveler. I do. I have a roll behind cement wheel. I've got to finish building it or talk to somebody about building a hitch for it. But I just aerate and open the soil up and go from there. Oh, awesome, Frozen. Go, buddy, go. Right, right, Frozen. Exactly. And that's what I'm trying to tell everybody. If you walk across a field anywhere and it feels like you're walking on pavement and it doesn't feel level per se, you can feel high and low spots. It's not natural. There's chemical issues. You don't have an active food web. You may have it in bits and pieces in sections, but yeah, dude, your yard, to give everybody a comparison that they can understand, your yard, when you walk across your grass, it should feel like the old wrestling mats in high school. Yeah, you should feel like you're walking on a little bit of a sponge as you're walking through your yard. Weed free. Granted, weeds are there to do a job. Let them do their job. Don't let them go to seed, but let them do their job. Don't freak out because you have weeds. Over the years with this process, you're going to eliminate all weeds in your yard anyhow as the food web expands. So don't worry about the weeds. Just chop them off like regular grass. Just don't let them go to seed, and you'll be fine. Even if they go to seed because you can't be there, like Jerry has his issues where he's got to go to work and he leaves the state. Don't worry about the weeds. The weeds aren't going to hurt anything. As we put the weed seed killer down, we're going to alleviate that. So it's not an issue if you can't be there. That's what's great about nature. Nature does its own thing. Um, yeah, I've got a potential job interview coming up also. Doesn't pay me anywhere near what I need, but but um, there's it's lack of work. Lack of work. I got to take what I can get my hands on. It's an organic company, organic lawn care company. Um, I applied to them. They didn't come looking for me, but once they found out who I was and found out about the book, they're real excited about getting me working for them. Sure, sure, absolutely. Why wouldn't they? You know, that gives them sales and bragging rights. The Green Wizard works for us and loves our system, so he's no. I'm chasing a paycheck. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm chasing a paycheck. Um, so yeah, if you're catching the rebroadcast of this, Um, I will put in Jerry's original contest video if I can find it. I don't seem to have it in my system. I don't know why, but if I've got it, I'll turn it back on, or see if it's still over on Jerry's page and active. Either way, I'll put a link up to it, and then I'll put a link up to the review he did, um, showing his yard and the results. It's impressive. It's impressive. This system works, guys. I can't say it enough. You're not going to believe me for me to show you my yard. If you follow me on Facebook on Ron Neitzel, you'll see it. 14 times I cut yesterday. Um, it's impressive. Things are going on out there in nature. Hey, buddy, what's going on, my friend? Thanks for stopping in. I hear you, Frozen. I hear you. I got a few ideas in that aspect. I've got to do some more research, though. I got to find out a little bit more. Yeah, I got to find out a little bit more. I got some ideas. Well, good. Get it done, Felicity. Get it done. Absolutely. Good money in that. If you really know what you're doing, there's good money to be made there. But yeah. So there's going to be a couple of channels pop up here shortly talking about the book. Jerry, I think we're our group with the homesteaders and the outback people. Just they're not into this. They're not understanding. A healthier yard is healthier oxygen and healthier air, less flooding, less potential of loss. They're not understanding. They're if you take what I've all said up till this point and you apply that to a garden, your garden is going to go bonkers. And you're going to get food that has not been tasted in 35 years out of your garden. Any garden. Doesn't matter. Any garden. Yeah, I've got this strong issue with cover crops. I have this strong issue with soil being exposed because you're killing the food web. You're allowing the sun and pollutants to get to the food web. I know it's a pain, but if you want weed-free, clean gardens to work in, understand garden fabrics aren't going to be your friend at all. They're going to hurt you more than they help you. Avoid them. Get something in there organic that's going to move and breathe. If you don't want clover growing in your garden and you don't see the value of the natural nitrogen, that's fine. That's fine. Legumes will do the same thing. But cover that soil. Do not let sunlight get to it. Get some alfalfa hay down. Get and don't worry about the seeds. Everybody, that's what I hear all the time. Oh my God, more seeds, more seeds. I don't want more seeds in my no. The solution's in the book. Mother Nature has provided us a way to stop all seeds, not just weed seeds, all seeds. So you don't have to worry about the hay. If you're treating your garden before you put your plants in, you're already growing established plants. You're not going to have that issue. And I know a lot of big farms are going to sit there and say, wait, I don't do that. I start from the seedling. Right. So you want a growing crop cover. That's it. You've answered yourself. Now, there's a lot of organic gardeners out there doing 3 and 4 crops at the same time on the same field. They all balance each other out, and there's constantly growing cover over the soil, meaning the sunlight doesn't get directly to the soil. That's all we're after. There you go, buddy. There you go. It's going to suck. I understand, depending on what she's asking. Uh, but dude, give me a list. Give me an email or something. Give me a list of what she's talking about you doing, and I'll give you the most advantageous, the easiest ways to do all of it. If she's talking about bringing in outside topsoils, tell her no, it's too early. The food web's not established yet. So bringing in bags of topsoil and mulch, again, no mulch. You got too many down trees. You could make your own mulch. So I may get you out of some work this year. So give me a list and then just go back to her and say, look, I took the list to the wizard and he's saying don't this, that, the other, next year. So I may be able to get you out of some of that. But let's get a list of what she wants done and what she's thinking, and I'll give you the best advice possible as to what my recommendations are. If she wants to follow them, great. If she doesn't, I'm sorry. She's probably going to want a garden. We're going to need a year to do that. So we may start establishing it this year, but we aren't going to grow anything this year. Just saying. We may have a bonfire though, so you might enjoy that part of it. So keep that in mind. So yeah, just shoot me an email or something with a list of what she's thinking about for this year, and I'll give you the best advice possible to be the least amount of work to get the best results, which is ultimately what she wants, and you want the least amount of work. So I'll do what I can to help. Yeah. So yeah, at this point, okay, got to do that other. What is it? Yeah. If you've liked this video up till this point, go ahead and do the like and share, and let your friends know that we're leaving this one up. Because yeah, we're trying to cover a few things here today that people need to hear. And we have results. Carrie's Woodworking was nice enough to show us. Yeah, just depends on what she wants, buddy. Just depends on if she's talking about bringing in outside soils. No, absolutely not. We're gonna hurt things. We could be bringing in a contagion. We don't want to do that. There's all these variables. So just shoot me a list. We'll take care of it. And I'll go through point by point and explain why in the email when I reply back. So we'll cover it. We'll get it taken care of. But yeah, that's where we're at. That's where we're at. I do need to sell more books. $25 a pop, I know, but I'll fill it out any way you want. It's number 16, dated. Because this is, I feel like something's getting ready to pop here. And if it gets too busy, I'm not going to be able to keep up with signed copies. Because I've got a radio interview in Texas coming up. Some other channels, Florida, another homesteading channel. I've just got a feeling things are going to pop. Things are going to change. Granted, I don't see anything for 3 months. So no matter what work I'm doing, so the only money I see is selling books direct, guys. I don't see that money for 3 months if we go through the Amazon affiliate link. So yeah, bear that in mind, guys. Because I need the help. I really do. I mean, I know it's a bummer because everybody hates hearing about this, that, or the other. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear that, I spent $17,000 putting this book together um, to get it out to you guys for $14, $15. They don't want to hear that. They want results. I've got results. I can't show you my results. It's not fair. I've got 9 years into the system. I want to show you directly off a farm from scratch. Um, no, Jerry, I don't. I live in Ohio. Um, Completely different grow region, but that doesn't change anything from the results of the book. The food web is still the food web anywhere on the planet. Um, so things change all the time, but the standard is still the same. We have to get the food web working everywhere. And that's what this is ultimately about. It's not about, the global warming issue. It's not about this and it's not about that. It's about getting things in your yard growing the best they possibly can with the least amount of work. And look, I went out, I bought the chemicals. Well, they're not chemicals, they're all natural substances. I bought everything for my yard this year. I've treated my yard this year. I spent this week treating a yard. Um, because I do it very, very slow, very, very methodical. I treated it, I aerated it, I treated it again. I dialed up my dispenser and poured it on as the final run. I've had rain, I've had this, I've had that. I'm doing it very slow, very methodical. Um, I want to make sure every inch is covered, and that's just me. That is not the way I tell the system is supposed to work. It's not. You should treat it once, walk away for months. Treat it again, walk away for months. Then right as we're going into fall, treat it one last time before that first frost, and let nature do its thing. Walk away. It's that's the same recipe for the chemicals. But here's what I'm saying. I went out. Oh, shoot, why did I do that? I went out. I spent the money um, to get this system going. Um, it cost me about $100. I have 3 years worth of product. Now, looking at Jerry's yard, $100 will probably do his yard for a year and a half. That being said, I went out also at the same time, walked the aisles at the big box store, and did the price comparison. It's going to be over $200 to do Jerry's yard and chemicals and stop the food web and continue the problems, continue the flooding issues, trees falling, problems, problems, problems. So for $100, he's got a year and a half of products. For $400, he's got nothing but problems. Hear the savings? That's what we're talking about here. That's what we're talking about here. Ultimately, that's what we're talking about. Turn this system around, save yourself the money, save yourself the time, and get your yard back. See, because here's like in Jerry's situation. Now, if I were to do Jerry's yard, plus my time and labor, what have you, what I won't even discuss that. We'll just go with Jerry doing the labor. Of course, he's got a stepson, so a lot of that can be dismissed, and the stepson can do a lot of it. But Jerry's yard will be about $100. He'll run it 3 times this year. There's $100 savings right there for next year. He'll start into next year, potentially buy another year and a half's worth of product, and barely use that to finish off next year. There's $200 versus $400 or $500 to do his yard in chemicals for 2 years. That's not going to stop. It's going to be every year doing it on chemicals. Jerry's going to spend $100 this year, maybe $100 next year, and not have to touch his yard for 3 to 5 years. No chemicals for 3 to 5 years. No, nothing for 3 to 5 years, unless he's working on a garden. Then we go a different route with the garden. But again, we're looking at no weed and feed in 2 years. We're looking at no accelerator in 2 years. We're looking at not having to put any amendments in 2 years. Done deal. So what he's bankrolling now in his yard, 2 years' time, he's not going to have to spend a dime and get continued increased results. A year. I say 3 years, then treat your yard again, because you're going to have weed seed regardless. But for 2 years worth of regular labor, he's got 3 years off. That's 5, 6, 7, almost $1,000. We'll say 8. That's $800 he gets to put in his pocket, and 3 years of no treating the yard. Anybody doing the math here? Anybody thinking this through? That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. Jerry's going to get 3 years off. She's going to find other work for you, though, Jerry. So, yeah, you're going to have to come up with a game plan for this. Steak dinners. Kids go away for the weekend. Yeah. You'll do the work on Friday and she'll pay all weekend. Just a thought. That'd be my mindset. But, yeah. So 3 years off. Won't have to do anything. $800 in his pocket. Of course, now, if you're smart, you'll still tell her you went and spent the money. She's not going to be watching. So you just go hide out in the garage, hide out in a wood shop for the next 3 years, and bankroll that money or invest it wisely in things. Yeah, things. Be nice to have an extra $800, wouldn't it? 3 years off, not having to worry about the yard. The $800, dude, you can get really good riding lawnmower for $800. Just saying. Rent yourself out on weekends with the lawnmower. Just saying. Because people are going to notice your yard, Jerry. People are going to be driving by and they're going to be like, "What the hell happened here? Something's different. He ain't working as hard. His yard looks great. What the hell happened?" Well, dude, sell your services. I'm not saying create yourself a lawn landscaping business, but you could. This could very well put you into business. Just showing your own yard. The knowledge here is priceless, in essence, in the long run. Oh, yesterday. Oh my God, the BS yesterday. Most of that was my own fault, guys. I had 4 bad days. Then my phone died. Put myself in really bad headspace. And the drama started for no reason. I am very, very methodical about what I'm doing. Every day is a new adventure for me. Every day is time to prove myself. And when you only have words, you got to work twice as hard to prove yourself, even just in words. Just because you say something doesn't mean it means anything. And that's my biggest fear. Where I plan on going and the things I plan on doing, um, they're not going to work out if I don't do things right now. And this drama's got to stop. If I'm not in a channel and I'm not chatting, please don't discuss me. Because it starts a whole world of garbage that I've got to pay for later that I don't know anything about. And it ain't worth it. No, it's not good. It's not good. I appreciate people are talking about the book. I appreciate that people are trying their damnedest to help me. Guys, it's not selling. Take it for what it is. Yeah, keep talking about it because people don't understand. We can make a difference. Just starting in your own yard, we can make a difference to the global problem. People don't understand that. They want to look at it a different way. They want to go a different route. They want the government to step in. The government's not going to do this. I'll tell you that right now. The government is not going to follow this book in any way, shape, or form. They make too much money off the chemical companies. There's no way they're going to turn the country around and go a different route and get the organic, get all the farmers back on organic. They're not going to do it. Not going to do it. There's no way the GMOs are going to allow that to happen. But that doesn't mean we can't change things for ourselves. Stop grocery shopping and getting the garbage food. You want good food? Get the book, follow it. You'll get the best food you've had ever in your lifetime, or you'll be remembering what good food tastes like because you're going to have it growing in your own yard or in some cases in your own apartment. You don't know what's coming until you follow the guidelines. You really don't know what's coming. Good morning, Bobby. So, yeah, take it for what it is. Take it for what it is. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I need to ask Frozen to talk about the book. I don't know if I need to talk to Nerd about talking about the book. Jerry and Bobby have both talked about the book. Maybe it's the crowd we're in and things are different. I don't know. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Everybody wants something for nothing. And the only way for this to happen would be for me to show up with a landscaping crew and blow out a yard and treat everything and do everything all at once. And 2 weeks later, have to come back and cut their grass because they'd be crying that the grass is growing too fast. They can't keep up with it. Um, things are different. Things are different. All righty, Jerry. We'll see you, my friend. Have a good one. Well, he's going to. You're leaving. It is what it is. But yeah, that's where we're headed, everybody. So yeah. Drama, 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 drama. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. Don't involve me. Don't involve me. I got too many things going on. I can't stop for drama. Um, I am so hardcore reaching for other channels to help. Um, most aren't willing. Most that see the value in the book aren't willing to help. I don't know why. I don't understand the mindset. They're loving to get the book for free and to get the knowledge, but they're not going to help. It's very nerve wracking. It really is. Because it would take one of these channels to get me out of financial trouble. Just one to come out and get me out of this financial trouble that I'm in. And this is a different book. That's again, and I'll stop at that point. But this is a different book, guys. This is not a textbook. It's not a school book. It's not a college book. This is just a story. Very simple story about what I went through. The 25, I think that's what the numbers were. $25,000 I spent on chemicals to have the best weed-filled yard possible. And it's not the way to go, guys. It's not the way to go. It's not going to give you the best yard possible. It's not going to give you the best garden possible. It's not going to give you the best flower beds possible. You can do it cheaper to next to nothing and get an incredible yard of your own and start making a difference. Like I said, I watched that fog bank that blanketed Cleveland. And the only area that fog bank was dissipating on a normal basis was my front yard, and I watched it being vacuumed in. That water could not pour into my yard fast enough, and I had no runoff. Everywhere else, that water just sat there. Walked into Rusty's backyard where his garden is, and you could see the moisture dissipating above his garden because it was drinking the water in. That's what's supposed to happen, guys. Fog banks should not last for days. They should dissipate in hours. That's the way it used to be. But because of all of these chemicals and all of the pollution, the food web's struggling just to survive, let alone have some place to put all this extra moisture. People don't get it. People don't understand. I want to show you guys these results on a farm where we're starting from scratch, and I step through the processes. I'm not going to show you all the ingredients, but you're going to see every step as I go. And you're going to see grass change and turn around. You're going to see the development of new garden beds. You're going to see an overall farm property completely turn around. That's where I'm going with this. I've got to sell hundreds of thousands of copies of this book to get there. Hundreds of thousands. Dude, all I'm talking about, dude, I know. All I'm talking about is just to get my butt out of financial trouble. I need to get the word out. When you think about some of these channels at 400,000 followers, 500,000 followers, but the only way they're going to talk about the book is I've got to pay them up front. And then they might talk about the book. I've got to go a different route. I can't, I'm out of money. I'm done. I've got to go back to work. So I've got to change the way I'm doing things. So this drama, when I can't be there to defend it, please don't include me. Yeah, I want to come in and I want to have fun and I want to hang out and do my thing. But when I can't be there, don't even allow the discussion of me existing to happen. Because man, did that cause me some trouble last night. But some people thrive on that, and I get it. It's fun sometimes. But I took up an old standard a long time ago, and it seemed to work really well for me. Don't discuss another channel that isn't in the room. Give them the ability to stand on their own 2 feet and to defend themselves or join in the fun. Don't even allow the discussion of an outside channel, in your chat. That's like, me discussing Rusty. Now I can do this on a fact that he stated yesterday. The only reason my phone broke was because I put him on my Facebook channel and showed him playing music. He said, that's the reason my phone broke. That's not true. I had dropped the phone and another battery came loose. But still funny. Rusty said it himself. I'm not putting words in the man's mouth. We're not creating drama from this. The only drama I've got with Rusty is the man can play, just like some of Bobby's friends can play, but they don't feel they're good enough to be live streaming. People don't understand. Yeah, for those of us that can't pick up an instrument and make a sound, these people can play, and we appreciate them all. And we wish they'd get out here and join us because they're entertaining as hell. But so yeah, job interviews are coming. Good luck on yours today, Frozen. Really, buddy, good luck. Wish you all the best. Let's chart out some time one day on one of these and bang out some ideas for your investment values. Not that I know any better, but I've got a few more years of wisdom on you, just a few. And I don't like spending other people's money, but advising you what direction to think, that's a totally different story altogether. So, yeah, I'm going to shut this off. I have a twinkling star to go take care of. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Got to get her here. She doesn't understand yet. She doesn't understand yet. She's got a history. I got to get past that. And it's really hard to do in just words. Drama doesn't help. Really doesn't help. We could lose her over some of this stuff. It's ridiculous. Really ridiculous. But appreciate you guys stopping in. Like, share, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Buy a book direct from me. The Green Wizard at hotmail.com. $25. Tell me how you want it filled out and where it's got to go. So yeah, we're going to leave this one up. We'll talk to you all later. Again, thank you all for stopping in. Have a great day. You know where to find me. I'll be around the stream somewhere. Have a great day, everybody.